All right, welcome back. Today we're going to tackle one of the most fundamental and, honestly, one of the most powerful concepts in CNC programming, cutter compensation.
So, let's kick things off with a classic machine shop puzzle. You spent all this time programming the absolute perfect path for your CNC machine. You run the part and it's wrong. Too much material is gone. So what gives? What's the disconnect between your code and what you're holding in your hand?
Well, this is what we call the machinist's dilemma. And the problem is actually pretty simple when you think about it. You programmed the path for the tool's center, right? But the actual cutting, well, that happens at its edge. And that tiny little distance, just the radius of the tool, that is the difference between a perfect part and a piece of scrap. So on the left, that's our problem. The tool center follows the line and it overcuts the part. But on the right, that's the solution. It's called cutter compensation. It's basically a feature that lets the machine be smart about its own tool size. It does the thinking for you.
Okay, let's really dig into this. The best way I found to think about cutter compensation is, well, it's like a GPS navigation system for your CNC machine. Seriously, you tell it the final destination, that's the finished edge of your part, and it automatically figures out the precise route the tool needs to take to get there.
So your G-code program, that's the route you've plugged into your map. It's the exact edge of the part. But the machine has to calculate where the center of the tool should drive to keep its cutting edge, think of it like the tire of your car, perfectly on that road.
And this right here is why cutter comp is such a game changer. It makes programming so much easier. I mean, instead of you having to manually calculate a different offset path for every single tool you might use, you just program the part's final dimensions one time. The machine handles all that tricky math, which saves a ton of time and, let's be honest, prevents a lot of headaches.
Okay, so how do we actually give the machine these driving directions? Well, we use a special set of commands called G-codes. This is the language we use to tell the machine, hey, I need you to drive on this side of the road.
First up is G41. This is for cutter compensation left. Now, here's a great way to remember it. Imagine you're walking behind the tool as it's moving forward. G41 tells the machine to keep that tool on the left side of the line you programmed. This is what you'll typically use for something called climb milling. And you guessed it, the next one is G42 for cutter compensation right. It's the same exact concept, it just keeps the tool on the right side of the line. This is the one you'll often see used for conventional milling.
Okay, and this one is maybe the most important of all. G40. This is the cancel command. You have to use G40 to turn compensation off. I'm serious, forgetting this can lead to some really weird, unexpected, and sometimes dangerous machine movements. So rule number one, always cancel your compensation.
All right, you ready? Time for a quick pop quiz. We're cutting the outside of this block, and the arrow shows which way we're going. To make this cut, are we going to use G41 or G42? Think about it. If you said G42, you got it. The tool needs to stay on the right side of that part edge.
Okay, round two. Now we're milling the inside of a pocket. Look at the arrow. What's the code? Well, in this case, the tool is to the left of the wall we're cutting, so the correct answer here is G41. Okay, last one. We're machining the outside of this circle. What's the call? Again, just follow the direction of travel. The tool is on the right of the part. That's a G42. See? You're getting the hang of this. It's all about just visualizing where you are in relation to the cut.
Quizzes are fun, but let's see how all these G-codes come together in a real-world example. We're going to mill a nice, clean, precise edge on a block of material.
So here's the job. Our goal is to shave just a tiny bit of stock, 20,000ths of an inch, off the end of this part. We need to take it from its rough starting length down to a really precise final dimension.
Our whole strategy here breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, we're going to approach the part and turn the compensation on. Second, we make the actual cut. And third, we'll back away from the part and turn the compensation off. Simple as that.
Now check this out. This first line of code is super efficient. It's doing 2 critical things at the exact same time. The G41 part, that turns on our left side compensation, and the X-coordinate moves the tool into its starting position just off the part. So smart. Now because compensation is active, the next command is almost ridiculously simple. All we do is tell the tool to move straight down in the Y-axis. The machine takes care of the offset automatically, keeping the tool's edge perfectly on that final dimension line. It's beautiful.
And to finish up, we issue the G40 command. This turns the compensation off while it moves the cutter safely away from our perfectly finished surface. It's a clean, efficient exit. No muss, no fuss.
And this whole example perfectly sets up a really crucial pro-level tip. How you turn compensation on and off is just as important as the cut itself. You can't just flip the switch anywhere. You got to do it the right way. Let's go back to that highway analogy. You need a lead-in move, right? That's your on-ramp. It lets you merge smoothly onto the cutting path. And then you need a lead-out move. That's your off-ramp, to exit cleanly. You'd never just slam on the brakes and jump off the highway, right? That causes accidents. Or, in our world, ugly gouges in the part.
So listen, here's the key takeaway. You have to always engage and disengage cutter compensation when you are away from the finished part. This gives the machine's brain the space it needs to figure out the offset path without leaving any ugly marks on your beautiful final surface.
So now, when you look at the complete block of code, you can see the whole story unfold. It's short, it's elegant, and it uses all the principles we just talked about. That safe approach, the compensated cut, and the clean exit, to get a flawless result with just a few simple lines of code.
You know, by really understanding cutter compensation, you've just mastered a core CNC skill. This is what separates simple programs from ones that are truly precise and flexible. But it does leave us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? We've told the machine where to go, but what about how fast it should get there? How fast should the tool spin? How fast should it move through the material? Well, that, my friends, is a story for another time.